Okay, Sunday we have the resume rankings. From now on Mondays, we're going to do the hypothetical 12-team playoff. If there were a 12-team playoff this year, what would it look like? And here's the question that I'm sure you're asking. But Andy, there will be no Pac-12, at least as we know it, next year. How's that going to look? We're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to go with the rules that are in place. They could still change them before the actual playoff begins in 2024. They still have multiple opportunities to tweak those things. But we're going to go with the rules that are in place, which would be the 6 highest ranked conference champs get automatic bids. The 4 byes have to be conference champions. And then we just arrange it the rest of the way. And I think there's some folks that got mad when I did my New Year's Six Bowl projections on Sunday. The Washington people were very mad. I left them out. And I had North Carolina in there. And they said, well, how is that even possible? Well, it's possible because in that situation, the Orange Bowl has to take an ACC team. But in this situation, all of that goes away. The conference affiliation with a bowl is not an issue anymore. So I'm taking North Carolina out. The other teams that were in that projected New Year's Six will be the same, but I'm inserting Washington in there because in this case, you don't have any contractual obligation to take a team from a certain conference. So we'll just go with that. And honestly, I didn't know how to, especially those Pac-12 teams, it's hard to order them. And so I'm just guessing at who I think will win the league and who I think will be the best teams. So I guessed that Oregon wins the league in this case. So here's how I've got it seeded right now. I've got Georgia number 1, Penn State number 2, because I remember I said I think Penn State's going to win the Big Ten. Now, I could be wrong on that, but I think there's a really good chance if we had a 12-team playoff this year that Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State would either all make it or I'll be very much in the mix for it going into the last week of the season. I got Texas number 3, Florida State number 4. I'm saying Oregon wins the Pac-12, which will be a mighty achievement this year. So I got them number 5, Michigan 6, Ohio State 7. So yes, that would be me predicting a Michigan win against Ohio State. Sorry, Buckeyes, but enjoy that win against Notre Dame for now, and you can just prove me wrong later. 8, Notre Dame, which in that situation, they don't have to win the rest of their games. I do think probably they got to beat USC, and maybe they could drop one because they would need the quality of that USC win, but maybe not. Maybe if they're just close against USC and win the rest of their games, it's good enough. 10, I had Washington. 11, I had Alabama. I'm not giving up on the Crimson Tide right now. I thought it was pretty impressive the way they bounced back against Ole Miss. That's a pretty good Ole Miss team. And I think they can win games playing an offense that really does actually accentuate what Jalen Milroe does best. So I'm going to put them in here for now. Obviously, they lose to LSU or something like that, we'll just pull them right out. And number 12, that would be your group of 5 highest ranked champ right now. I'm just projecting Fresno State there right now. Fresno State has beaten Purdue. They have shut out Arizona State. That'd be the same Arizona State team that USC gave up 28 points to on Saturday night. So I don't know if the Bulldogs are going to win the Mountain West, but so far they are looking very good. So that's how I've got it. So how would this work out? This is where it gets fun. This is where it gets fun. So you know how I feel about the home sites, that it really should be home sites, I think, all the way until the title game would be your one neutral site game. But I could live with if the semis were also neutral sites. But for now, the quarterfinals will be in bowls. The teams that earn the highest seeds will get screwed and not get to play a home game. We're going to work off that. So here we go. Your first game, number 12, Fresno State at number 5, Oregon. Winner to play Florida State in the Orange Bowl. That's pretty exciting. You could have an Oregon-Florida State playoff rematch. Remember, they met in the first playoff in the Rose Bowl after the 2014 season. Number 11, Alabama at number 6, Michigan. Here it is. This is what you Big Ten fans have wanted all along. You want somebody from the SEC to come up and play in the cold. Well, here you go. Now you've got a chance. Alabama and Michigan, it would be bitterly cold in Ann Arbor, most likely. And the winner plays Texas in the Cotton Bowl. I mean, just the helmet matchups with those potential, whatever the two potential quarterfinal matchups are, and the Alabama Michigan, it's everything you want. If you're a TV executive, it's definitely everything you want. But that would get everybody very excited. Here's a game I would love to see this year. I don't care how this could be in our real 14 playoff. If this is a game, I would love to see it. If this winds up being a bowl game that isn't in the playoff, I'd love to see it. But these two teams I would really like to see play each other. Number 10 Washington at number 7 Ohio State. The winner plays Penn State in the Rose Bowl. Come on. And I know what you're saying. Oh, but Ohio State already plays Penn State. Yeah, we're going to have rematches. It's just inevitable. In fact, the next game is another rematch. Is a rematch at the same site it was played during the season, which these are going to happen. We obviously see them in the NFL playoffs, and of course we see them in every other level of sport when they have more games. But number 9 USC at number 8 Notre Dame. It would be nice if it flipped the location, but maybe I should have just, in my randomizing and guessing about where everybody be ranked, should have just put Notre Dame at 9 and USC at 8. But my supposition was Notre Dame beats USC in the regular season. That's the only way that happens. And USC then loses the one key conference game that costs it the conference title. So Notre Dame would be ranked ahead of USC in that situation. The winner plays number 1 Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. Come on. That's going to be so much fun. Those matchups sound incredible. I'm ready for that. If they could do that right now, I'd be fine with it. Because actually this season, it feels like there's so many more than 4 teams that could really compete for the national title. Most seasons, sometimes it feels like there's only 2, maybe 3. This season, it feels pretty wide open. I wish they could do that, but unfortunately, not time yet. But we can do this every week. We can dream. And then next year, the dream becomes a reality. It's going to be fun. I know there's people who don't like change. I get that. But once you see these games and the more you see what potential matchups you're going to get, I think you're probably going to say, you know what? I think I'd probably watch that. I think I probably would enjoy watching that. Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples on 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.